As is our custom, I want to welcome all of you back. There are times we can have the program and times we can't right now because of everything that's been going on with the virus. So I ask you to be patient. Starting today, we'll be on every Thursday. And like you know, our doors are always open. We have our community involved. But before we get started, it's our custom. I want to take a couple of seconds to tell our Holy Trinity, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us to be here and communicating with everybody in our community. Thank you, dear Holy Trinity, for being with us. Bless this program, the people that are in it, and especially Carlos Lopez and Lopez Broadcasting that gives us the opportunity to be here and bring you all these people that we introduce you to. In your holy name we pray, amen. Well, I have a very special guest. As you know, we've got, I think, 10 people? 9 people running for mayor. And I'm not gonna waste my time with all of them. You know me, I'm very upfront. I'm gonna pick people that I think have a chance of getting into the runoff. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't make mints about anything that's going on, but I want to introduce you with the people that have the possibility of getting into a runoff with our mayor. So one of those persons that I picked, not only because she's beautiful, and I know one thing about politics, if you're pretty, you put your picture out there, you get people to look at your billboards, that's a step up. So what number did you draw?
Hello, I drew number 4.
Number 4. And before we get started, I want to have this young lady introduce herself to you, tell us a little bit about herself, and then we'll get going.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, actually. My name is Priscilla Gonzalez. I am from the Rio Grande Valley. I moved to Corpus Christi in 2010. I've worked for the same law firm for 10 years. I've been involved in politics for about 10 years, and I'm here to move the city forward. I'm here to work on infrastructure, streets, jobs, housing, the travel industry, and that's pretty much it. That's my intro.
Well, my goodness, that is fantastic. Let me tell you, you young lady, are you married?
I am not married.
You're not married, uh-oh. Okay, everybody with proposals, wait a minute. So, you're not married, but tell me about your family, brothers, sisters, where do they live?
Yes, of course. My baby brother, 6'7", lives in Lafayette, Louisiana, which is being hit by Hurricane Laura right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I hope he's all right.
Category 4, he will be fine. My mom also resides in Lafayette, Louisiana. She was born and raised in Allende, Mexico. My dad lives in Cal Allen, and he has an auto body shop. And he was also born in Veracruz, Mexico. So I am a descendant of the Totonaca tribe, the Aztecs.
Oh, how wonderful. Something coming.
I have a 2-year-old nephew whom I love and adore, and I'm pretty sure everybody has seen on my social media. And I have an older brother who resides in McAllen, Texas.
Well, that's wonderful. So you just came here in 2010.
2010.
And obviously, have you decided that this is going to be your home?
Of course, definitely. I'm here for life.
Well, that's wonderful. Now tell us a little bit about you. I want people to know, one, why you decided to run for mayor. I mean, obviously you've seen needs, you've been involved for 10 years. And what do you think about all those 9 people running for mayor?
Sure, great question. For the past 10 years that I have resided in Corpus Christi, I have seen our infrastructure just crumble. Our streets are not getting better. People are fed up, which is also affecting the tourism industry, and it's also affecting local businesses. As you know, local businesses are shutting down at a very accelerated rate. Corpus Christi at this rate should be growing at the same rate as Florida. We should be a main travel destination just like Galveston. Our beaches are actually better than Galveston. We should have cruise ships coming in here. We have the docks. Our city councilmen are moving a little bit tad too slow. So I do believe that if we bring someone forth that can actually work and get stuff done and manage our entire team of councilmen, we can actually move forward as a city in Corpus Christi.
Okay, so you tell me you've been involved in politics. What about involved in the community?
Sure.
Do you belong to any organizations? Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So as you know, my job is to run the marketing department at Herman & Herman. My main focus for the past 10 years has been to develop community projects. So I started the Herman & Herman Scholarship Fund. I also started the Toys for Tots donation, so we do that every single year. We started the sponsorship for Stuff the Bus. We started a program where we funded PAC, so it's People Assisting Animal Control. And what we did is we paid for people to get their dogs spayed and neutered. I have always been involved in the community. I grew up as a missionary as a child, so it's just instilled in me, and I've always done volunteer work. Lately, I have been going down to the homeless shelter by City Hall, and I do work with other church organizations that just pull up by the homeless shelter. They bring in bags, we're doing it this Saturday, they bring in bags of food, protein shakes, bottles of water. I go out there and I volunteer, and we just pass stuff out, and we do need more manpower and more volunteers for that.
Well, that's fantastic. Let me ask you something else, because I happen to have a neighbor next to me that just got widowed. She can't walk very far, and her driving is very limited. And my schedule is such that I can't, just go out there. What do you do for seniors like her that can't leave the house to help them out? What is being done for that sort of thing?
Okay, so are you referring to the COVID virus, or are you referring to just their lives in general?
No, the ability to get food for them, because you guys are familiar with, you were saying you were serving that. And I know that there are food giveaways, but some of our seniors cannot get out there.
Okay.
Go get help with the food and bringing it to them.
Okay.
What do you do? What is that particular organization doing to be able to bring food to the seniors that can't get out?
That's a great question. So I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the Coastal Bend Food Center distribution.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know why they do not have a program where they actually get a list of addresses of senior citizens that cannot drive to a location and deliver that food. I don't know why, and I don't know if that has been implemented, but we definitely do need that in the community.
Well, I hope you look into it,
Most
because
definitely.
one of the things that worries me, I'm lucky enough I can drive anywhere still. And I have a concern about seniors that go through that.
Of course.
One of the things that we in particular look at city council to do is, you talked about it, the infrastructure, the streets, that sort of thing. But we also look at them as helping out, getting out there and helping the people. Getting out there and helping them do other things besides city council. City council is a very demanding job. If you think you're gonna do one meeting a week, wrong. That doesn't happen. Okay, I know about city council, and I know that you have to be able to attend multiple meetings. They're having a meeting right now on the budget, I know.
Yes.
At this moment, they're having
Sure.
a meeting on the budget. So it isn't just going every Tuesday to a meeting. Will you have the flexibility to be able to attend all the meetings that are required for it?
I will be there.
Fantastic. And the reason I ask this, because I ask it of everybody. If you're going to try to get a job, and I know you don't get paid for this one, but I consider it a job. When a candidate comes out, you're applying for a job with our city council.
Of course.
And that's the way I see it. So, majority of the time, it's very time consuming. The amount of money they give you is nothing. Nothing, but it's really a non-paid job. They give you for travel, they give you for this, they give you for that. But the majority of the thing is time.
Okay, fortunate for me, I am single, and I will remain single for probably the next 20 years. So I have plenty of time. My hobbies do include politics, doing community work, and my full-time job, which is community work. So I have the flexibility to just work for the community. And like I said,
Well, tell me something, Ms. Gonzalez, you said, your priorities were infrastructure and streets. But Corpus Christi faces a lot of other challenges. So what would be your top 4 goals if you're elected?
Okay, my top 4 goals if I'm elected, great question, by the way. First would be the streets. Second, or there are 2 that are combined together, so it's jobs and housing. So that's number 2. Third would be to implement a program that is going to benefit our senior citizens, our homeless community, and our children. All of that falls under number 3. And that is what you need the whole team to work with. And I will work with our city councilman. And my 4th priority would be the travel industry and local businesses.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what do you see as Corpus's challenges? Give me 3 that do not include streets and infrastructure, because we already know that those are there.
Okay, challenges we face are holding our city council accountable for the lack of implementing our bond programs. So when a bond program is, they elect and they vote, our city councilmen take too long to implement it. It takes 2, 4, 6, 7 years, which is why we cannot use the funding. So that is a huge challenge. When I am elected mayor, I will hold everybody accountable, and I will cut that time frame in half, if possible even less. That is one challenge that I can work on. The second challenge would be to coordinate with the entire city and try to come up with a program to just help our homeless, our senior citizens, and our students, because they are our future. That is a huge challenge that I support.
Fantastic. Let me ask you this, because if you've been familiar with politics, you know how city council works, okay?
Yes, I do.
The problem with city council is we elect the whole council.
Okay.
The whole council, you can wipe out a whole council in one election. If everybody's mad at you like they were a few years ago with Melda, that they voted not for the person that was there, but against her, they can wipe out a whole council and you start new. So you do realize that city council is run right now by our city manager.
Yes.
And council is there to implement policy. So every 2 years, they can wipe it out, and it takes about 6 months to really get to know what's going on,
Okay.
and then you're out for election again.
Got it. Okay.
So, when you talk about bonds, and because I'm familiar with it, and I get mad that we're working on the 2016, 2018 bonds,
Right.
and we're in 2021,
Right.
that's because every 2 years, we have a changing council, and what this council implemented, this council can't get rid of. What this council did it and what is it. So what would be your solution to that kind of a problem?
That is a big problem, and that is something that I do believe in working together as a team. I understand that city council is going to change, and it most definitely will change in this election. But what I can focus on is working together, and I will dedicate 24/7 to work with our city councilman. Our city manager is amazing. He's great. He's doing a fantastic job. The challenge that he faces is the people that he has to manage, because they just will not cooperate with him. That is a huge challenge. But personally, I would move heaven and earth to work with our city councilman. Now, can I, by law, change the time frame of the elections and how fast they rotate? I don't know if I can do that. I could look into it, and I could most definitely find out.
Are you aware of that there's a movement to have staggered terms?
Of course.
Okay, and I've been pushing for that forever.
Okay.
Because I'd like to have some continuity
Right.
on the council, and you've got term limitations on council.
Okay.
So you can only serve on council 3 consecutive terms,
Okay.
which is 6 years, and you get more if you're appointed,
Okay.
okay? But that's the limit. You can be a at-large council person, serve 3 terms. The only position you can run for is mayor
Okay.
after that. And that gives you 3 more terms on there. So that's the total amount of what can happen
Interesting.
in there.
That's good.
So,
info.
just so that you know when you set your goals for mayor, because I really and honestly think that there's going to be a runoff. There's no way anybody can avoid a runoff.
Who do you believe is going to be in that runoff?
I'll tell you what, it's gonna be Joe,
Okay.
it's going to be either Carolyn Vaughn, Miss Kodak, Paula Guajardo, or, and you. Those are the only people that I
Okay.
believe stand a chance of being a runoff. So it's going to be really between the 3 of you, I think.
Okay.
Because I believe that Joe will get into it. Joe's been around a long time. But I believe it's going to be between the 3 of you.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that a city councilwoman should be running for mayor when she owes $40,000 from her election from 2018?
Well, I believe that. That to me would mean that she can't manage her budget.
Okay.
And you have to be able to manage a budget.
Correct.
Are you familiar with the budget of the city and how much it entails?
Yes. I am.
Okay, well, tell me a little bit about that. Show me.
A little bit about the budget.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, personally, somebody that is already in the hole for $40,000 should probably manage her finances a little bit better.
Totally agree. You and I are on the same page on that.
Just so we know, I don't know any money, so
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty much set. I'm grassroots campaign. In regards to the budget, I do have to do a little bit more further analysis before I do answer that question.
Mhm. Well, the budget's just coming up, and you know, we're gonna be setting up a budget. The reason I'm so involved in the budget is because I also happen to head crime control.
Okay.
Okay, so we put in a budget for the city, and then they decide whether they wanna go with it or they don't wanna go with it. And we're very conservative. I happen to be very conservative because my first priority are police officers.
Of course.
So that is one of the things that happen. But, you know, in this city, in Corpus Christi, we happen to be lucky in that the respect that the community has for our officers.
Yes.
And the kind of rapport that goes on with the city and their officers. How do you feel about first responders? Tell me a little bit about your feelings concerning police officers, firefighters. Tell me something about that.
Okay. I hold police officers very dear. They are our community leaders. They are the ones that keep us safe. So do our firefighters, so do our paramedics. I'm all for the police department. I do know that our police department has done a phenomenal job in Corpus Christi. I am always going to support them. I admire them. They are our heroes.
Fantastic. So, you know that they endorse every year,
Yes.
and you'll have an opportunity to get their endorsements. I believe the firefighters have already done this, I'm not sure.
I believe so too.
I believe that they've done so. I haven't checked it out, so I can't tell you. I know that for the first time in 7 years, firefighters, thank you for supporting Roland Barrera. It only took you 7 times to do it. And he's been a fantastic, so there's something in persistence.
Of course,
There's
definitely.
something in persistence, so I know that the firefighters endorsed him. And a shout out to Roland, he is a fantastic councilman, is my opinion. He's done more than anybody I know.
Wow, okay.
So I'm very impressed with Roland. And we have other people that are running, but I won't get into that later. Right now, Priscilla, tell me how people would get in touch with you if they wanted to join your campaign and help you out.
Sure, definitely. So my website is www.chrisformayor.com. My cell phone number is direct. I don't use a burner phone. I don't use a second line. It's area code 956-563-6558. You can find me on all social media channels, #ChrisForMayor. I do have a couple of volunteers that have already joined my campaign. And just shoot me a message on Facebook. My profile is public. I do have my face a public figure page, and I'm pretty savvy with, I do my own Instagram, Snapchat, everything.
Well, you know, October 13th will kick off early voting.
Yes, yes, we do. The last day to register to vote is October 5th. So I do want to remind the public that Herman and Herman, you can go register to vote. And if you cannot drive to go register to vote, we will send a voter deputy on behalf of Herman and Herman to your location, to your house, to your work. If you can be on the street, we will drive to you and we will register you to vote.
Well, this election is very different than any other election.
Yes, very.
At this time, we would be out block walking,
Yes,
and thank God somehow that we're not because the heat is tremendous.
yes,
So we would have block walking, but this is gonna be more social media,
correct.
television, that sort of thing to get your voice out.
Correct.
And we in Magic, we pride ourselves very much in what we do here because Lopez and Lopez Broadcasting do have a way of reaching a lot of people.
Wow.
We also have a way of doing radio spots,
Yes,
don't we,
ma'am.
LBJ?
Yes, ma'am.
We do radio spots and they come on. We do comentarios, which is a program that gets super heated.
Yeah.
I love comentarios.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I would like to be on it.
Comentarios is fantastic.
Okay.
It, we'll let you know a little bit more about it, but we do it all through, early voting, for 2 weeks of early voting.
Okay.
And it's 15 minutes a slot that gets it, and boy, does it get heated.
Wow.
It draws the attention. I can tell you that I work with teachers,
Okay.
because that's my main function. I
Sure.
represent teachers and school employees.
Okay.
Our organization is CPAS.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, maybe we need to tap Herman and Herman into our deal. We're making baskets for our teachers.
Wow. Okay.
And baskets, because of the virus, has a thermometer,
Okay.
it has disinfectants, it has wipe off, it has Lysol. We have a whole basket and we try to get them to each of our teachers.
Interesting.
So what we do is we collect enough to buy things in bulk and try to provide them to our teachers.
Perfect.
Especially because come, right after Labor Day, September the 8th, we're gonna start phase 1
Okay.
of going back to school. Let me tell you a little bit about it, because you said you were interested in education.
Yes, of course.
The city has partnered off with CCISD in helping to get Chromebooks.
That's an issue because there aren't enough. I was about to ask you.
Well, they partnered up with the money. One of the things we're looking for is, our teachers are scared. You know,
As they should be.
They are scared. This first phase, we're gonna take our special needs children, our children who do not have access to computers, who do not have access to hotspots. This is gonna be the first phase of bringing people in, and only at 25%.
Okay.
So we're trying to make sure that the teachers in their classroom have a thermometer so they can check it.
Okay.
If the nurse is busy, if we've got too many kids piled up, we want to give them the opportunity to have those things. And those things are expensive.
How much are the
The
thermometers?
thermometers are about $49 each.
Okay. And
If
how-
you find them.
How many
Yeah.
teachers do we have that need thermometers?
Well, right now, we're looking at least to the ones that are in the most needs, about 300.
300. Okay.
Those are the what we're looking at.
Okay.
Because, to try to get it to them, especially our special needs teachers.
Of course.
Okay, because we're concerned about them.
Of course.
And, we're concerned about every teacher that's going back to work. And we have a lot of parents, like you heard in the news yesterday, that want their kids back in school.
Yes.
We're not gonna be able to take them all at once.
No.
It's going to have to be phased in.
Okay.
But one of the main things we're trying to do is ease the anxiety and the stress that teachers are having. Because with virtual teaching, people, get this, we have a 12-hour day for a teacher.
That's pretty long.
Not an 8 or 10-hour days that they were doing before. It's 12, 13-hour days.
And then sometimes the Zoom don't work.
Yep, but like the other day, we had the Zoom go down and the cameras go down, and that was all over the world from what I understand.
how is the school paying for the internet that the children need to use their
The
Chromebooks?
school is paying for the internet if we can put up hotspots.
Okay,
In CCISD and West Osa.
okay,
And West Osa is another place where things are needed, really bad. And I wanna give a shout out to Conrado Garcia. He has really done a superb job as superintendent, at West Osa, trying to get everything that the kids need. And there, the taxes are not what they are in CCISD. In CCISD, we have an opportunity because the taxes are a little bit better than in West Osa because the homes are not that expensive.
of
So
course.
they have to do what they have to do. That is also one of the areas where we're trying to get help for our teachers.
Okay, so what I can personally do is speak to Mr. Gregory Herman. I do work directly with him, and I could ask him about some type of financial assistance for the baskets, for the thermometers.
Well, we certainly would appreciate that,
Of course.
but most importantly, we would appreciate the involvement that you're showing.
Of course.
The involvement of caring what's happening to our students. Because if you're going to get in counsel, if you're going to be there, these are the kind of things that we need. We
Right.
don't need only a smart person, but we want a person with a heart.
Of course, has Mr. Mayor McComb found that a solution?
They have partnered off, as far as I know, with it, and he has contributed to some of the baskets that we're making.
Now, is that personal money?
That is personal money from him,
Okay,
not campaign money, but personal money
okay,
that he's given for that. And, actually, we just had a commitment from another, person that's going to help us out on a personal level, and that's, James Hernandez.
James Hernandez, okay.
James Hernandez has come through and helped us out. And there's been people like Roland Barrera, people that have
Sure.
come in. But we also have people that always help us out, like Sitco. Cisco and
Definitely.
Cisco has come in, although I haven't been able to get a hold of Sitco lately. But they've had a turnover
Okay,
in staff.
we could try Vallejo.
Okay,
We
then.
partner up a lot with Vallejo in regards to sponsoring large community events.
So that would be helpful, but since Larry left, it's been kind of hard
Right.
to the communications, because Sitco was a camera, everything.
Wow,
He would help out in everything, but he was very community oriented
okay.
on that spot. But tell me a little bit more about you.
Yes.
What is it that distinguishes you? And I'm not talking about the mayor, I'm talking about the other 8 candidates that are in there with you. What distinguishes you from them?
What distinguishes me from my other candidates is, one, I'm not in the hole for $40,000.
That's fantastic, I appreciate
I
that.
can manage money. 2, I'm a female Latina, 36 years old. That's a huge distinguishment. 3, I'm Priscilla. I have a big heart. I'm all for the community. I'm all for the people, and I always will be.
But I'm hoping that that kind of thing keeps up with you,
Of course.
and that, you do get into a runoff,
Okay.
because in my opinion, and this is my opinion, people, and you know, I say it like it is. People may not like it, but I say it like it is. With Carolyn Vaughn, she's got a lot of money. A
She
lot
does,
of
yes.
money. And she'll finance her own campaign. But I have a problem with her ever since low housing was introduced into the Carolina area. And there was this group of people, whole slew of people that came out from Carolina and said, we don't want low housing in our area. And I remember very clearly saying, they're going to be up there and they're gonna look into my backyard. And there's no bus stop for them. This one I remember, there's no bus stop for them. So what are they gonna do?
Right.
That motion failed and I was upset about it. But I was more upset of the comments made and agreed to by this particular person, Karen Vaughn, that was there at the time for low housing. So money isn't everything. It's the vote that counts. In this election, your vote is as important as that of the president.
Yes, it is. Every vote counts, and it's very unfortunate to say that a lot of people in Corpus Christi are not registered to vote. So I do want to remind the public, the last day to register to vote is October 5th, and I will personally drive to your location, wherever you are in Corpus Christi or in the coastal bend, and I will register you to vote. I will go to your house at 2
And that
a.m. if I
that
have
is a
to.
wonderful service, you know, that is fantastic. We've registered, through our organization, almost 500 new voters
Wow, that's
that
amazing.
are not kids,
Okay,
that have been here for a long time, but they just didn't wanna vote because my vote doesn't matter.
no, every vote counts.
So, we've done a job, but there's still people out there that are not registered. Take advantage of it.
Yes.
Just because you register with them doesn't mean you're gonna vote, you vote your conscience.
Actually, also on election day and when early voting starts, Herman and myself, we will literally pick you up and drive you to the poll if you are a senior citizen and you cannot drive yourself.
And let me tell you something, mail-in ballots are wonderful. There's
Yes.
been a controversy on mail-in ballots, and we all know it. There is a rule that I want you all to remember. You have a right to take your mother, your father, or anyone else that picks you up, and you're a senior, to go up to the polls and tell them that you want to vote in your car. A judge has to come out by law, bring you the ballot, and you get to vote.
That's amazing, and that is great info that I don't believe the public knows.
Okay, so you have a right to do that in Texas. So if you did not get a mail-in ballot, you're a senior, and they offer you a right, take it.
Yes.
We will be providing the same service, and letting people know that if you need to be picked up, we'll pick you up, we'll take you to the polls. And let me tell you, my drivers don't look at what you vote, okay?
Of course, neither do we. We
So-
want everybody to vote.
You vote your conscience. And that is a fantastic thing to have done. Well, we've got about 2 more minutes,
Sure.
because I've got another guest that's coming in.
Okay.
But I want you to tell people, 1, how to reach you, 2, how they can help you, 3, give them that phone number again.
Yes, so the best way to reach me is www.chrisformayor.com. Cell phone number, area code 956-563-6558. Contact me at any time. The best way you can help me right now is volunteering, donating, and registering to vote. And do not forget that I will personally drive my voter deputy to your house, job. It doesn't matter if you're at the beach or at the street, and we will register you to vote.
Main thing, tell them your name.
My name is Priscilla Gonzalez, and I'm running for mayor of Corpus Christi, Texas.
Okay, Priscilla, I want you to know that we're on every Thursday
Yes,
at 2 o'clock. Our doors are always open.
thank you.
You've got something special going on, please come by.
Yes, of course.
Let us know about it,
Yes.
and we'll be able to move from there.
Awesome. It was a great show. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, thank you for being here. Okay.